watching Fintech Wave.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ken from Fintech Wave. I hope you're well. I'm back with another video. But before we get started, I'd just like to remind you, if you haven't already, please click like and subscribe, and also smash that notification bell. Those things help Fintech Wave go up in the rankings, and you'll also be notified when we drop new content on Fintech Wave. And by all means, do comment down below as the video progresses. If you want to jump in and share your views, they're always welcome. So today, I just want to start out by having a look at the market overall. Right now, crypto's market cap is $2.574 trillion, so we've gone up since last weekend. Bitcoin is holding on at $62,029, up about 2% in the last 24 hours. So this is a good thing because we had a big week for Bitcoin. Bitcoin in the past week hit its all-time high ever of about 66,829 or somewhere thereabouts. And there was some profit taking right after that. By Friday, we were already back down around where we are right now. And we even went down as low as 60,000 something. And there were a lot of people who were saying, you know, it was going to go even further, but it hasn't. And this is a good thing because not only was the all-time high a big profit-taking opportunity for people who've been holding Bitcoin for a while, held all through the period back in May when we went down as low as 29,000 and change, but it's also the weekend. And as we all know, this is the time when people like to cash out. So the weekend's almost over and we're holding on to 62,000. I'm hoping that we can hit the mid-60s and stay there and even head towards 70,000 as we close out October and move into November. Overall, the market sentiment is bullish. I've seen articles calling for a $250,000 Bitcoin roughly by the end of the year. Naturally, there are going to be people who think it could pull back, but whatever the case may be, I just like to remind people that this whole crypto thing is just getting started. You know what I mean? The energy builds up and everybody's like, yo, buy, sell, and step back, I think, and just realize, yeah, I mean, you could try to time the market. You can day trade, but, you know, it's the old story of the tortoise and the hare. You know what I mean? You could be really rambunctious about it, or you can just lay back, take your position, hodl strong, and just see what happens in a couple of years from now. When things start looking crazy, think 24 months from now. Look at what's happening. Look at the amount of crypto adoption that's taking place. Look at how many companies are getting into the space compared to a couple of years ago where people were talking about all of this doom and gloom. Now it's everybody's got a crypto wallet. Everybody's got a crypto app. All kinds of institutional players are trying to package crypto in different ways for their customers. They're not doing that so that they can cash out. You know, I don't think Morgan Stanley as an institutional player is investing in GBTC so they can cash out in a month. That's not how they operate. If for nothing else, for tax reasons. They can't just churn assets like that. It'll be a disaster for them on the tax side. So when you see an institutional player taking a position like that, you got to remember that. They have fiscal timelines to pay attention to. So when they jump in, they're not getting out for a while. Moving on to the main topic, and that is crypto debit cards. I really think it's something that everybody should know about and should start to look into if you haven't already. I'm going to talk about the main aspects of why I think crypto debit cards are the way to go. Firstly, you can use them anywhere. Most of the time, they're either a Visa or a MasterCard affiliated debit card, especially with most of the major exchanges, Coinbase, Binance, Uphold. Any one of the majors that offer a crypto debit card to associate with your account is usually going to have a Visa affiliation or a MasterCard affiliation. So firstly, because they're either going to be Visa or MasterCard, you can use them anywhere. Right? Anywhere you can use a Visa or a MasterCard, you can use your crypto debit card. I know this for a fact because I've traveled a bunch and I have used my crypto debit cards outside of the United States and with no problem. So that's the first thing. Anywhere you go, you can use them. Secondly, there are usually enticements, and those are the next three aspects of what I'm going to talk about. The first enticement is usually like an exchange will have some type of special thing going. In the case of Coinbase, it's the fact that USDC happens to be a crypto that's a stable coin pegged to the US dollar. So it pretty much stays at $1, right? And Coinbase is behind it. Coinbase and a company called Circle are the ones who started USDC. And it's right there on the crypto exchanges, trading at $1. And they make it so that it's real easy for you to get, especially on Coinbase, right? Coinbase, because they're trying to push USDC, makes it so that when you purchase USDC, you don't pay any fees. All right. So that's the second main point I want to make. So let's say you have a Coinbase account and you have your bank linked to your Coinbase account. And since your bank account is linked, it's just a couple of mouse clicks and you're done. And you've purchased, let's say, Bitcoin. But here's what happens. If you purchase $500 worth of Bitcoin, there's a transaction fee involved. There's a broker's fee involved as well, right? So when all is said and done, for a $500 Bitcoin transaction, I don't know, off the top of my head, you might spend $47. Let's say 40 bucks, right? So instead of getting $500 worth of Bitcoin, you get $500 minus the $40 transaction fees. So now you have $460 worth of buying power. Your $500 that you took out of your bank now has $460 worth of buying power. That's not the case if you use USDC. What Coinbase is doing is saying, hey, buy USDC. And when you buy it, there's no transaction fee at all. No brokerage fee, no blockchain fee, no anything, right? So if you take $500 out of your bank and make a Coinbase purchase and buy USDC with it, that same $500 that left your bank account arrives in your Coinbase account in the form of USDC, $500 worth. And since USDC is pegged to the US dollar, it's the same $500 spending power you had when the money was sitting in your bank, right? So that's a beautiful thing. No fees to acquire these cryptos in some cases, depending on the exchange and what kind of special deal they have going with whatever crypto it is. So you can use these crypto debit cards anywhere you could use a Visa or a MasterCard. There are no fees to acquire the crypto in a lot of cases. Your money can have the same amount of buying power it had when it was in your bank. So you're not getting penalized if you're strategic about it. Right? You research the exchange and what they have going in terms of promotions, which crypto can I buy for the cheapest amount and get the most buying power out of the money that's leaving my bank account, right? And thirdly, they pay rewards as well. So, why would you spend $1,000 with your Visa debit card that's associated with your bank when you're not getting anything back for it, when over the course of, say, 2 months, that same $1,000 that you might have spent on miscellaneous expenses, you've now gotten $40 back, because you have it linked to, say, Stellar Lumens, and that's a 4% give back on the part of the exchange, right? So that's 3 reasons right there why crypto debit cards are the move. And then lastly, and this is the most important thing, right? For people who travel, and I touched on this in crypto payments a video or 2 ago, you know that you have to spend in the local currency, and when you want to exchange money, there's typically a fee. If you're in an airport, you really get hit in the head, right? Say you go to Japan, and we're looking at the US dollar to Japanese yen conversion rate, right? $1 to 113. Let's make it a little simpler to read. So for every $100 USD is the equivalent of 11,376 Japanese yen, right? That's on the currency exchanges, right? They fluctuate a little bit from one exchange to the other, but the going rate is what you see here. The way banks work is this. They take a fee. And the way they take the fee is, instead of giving you 11,376 Japanese yen, they'll give you something like 10,807 Japanese yen, right? So they just took 5% from you. And even on Uphold's site, they say, use a crypto debit card, because when you use a crypto debit card, this doesn't happen to you. And the reason is, you're not going from the US dollar to the Japanese yen when you're spending crypto. You're going from this interim device, crypto, to whatever the local currency is, right? So you don't get hit in the head like this. And Uphold says these fees can go as high as 10%. In other words, you come with $100, and in some cases, what you get back has the value of $90. So if $90 is the hot rate, a lot of times, if you're pressed for time like that, or if you're in a situation where you just have to do the transaction someplace like the airport, it gets really crazy. I mean, you could be looking at something like this. For your $100 that you fork out, you could be getting back something that has like $82 worth. They mark everything up. You go to Japan and you're not seeing it happen right in front of you like that, like you would at a currency exchange kiosk in the airport or somewhere like that. What happens is, you spend, say dinner costs you that. Say it costs you 11,376 Japanese yen, which is $100. They charge you for that, right? But then on top of it, if the going rate is 5% or whatever, you're going to also see on your debit card statement this $5 fee. If you look closely and if you read the notation, you can pretty much see that they're talking about the fact that you're dealing with an international exchange. So one way or another, if you're dealing with a bank card, they're going to get you on the currency conversion. Dinner actually costs you $105, right? So that means for every $1,000 you spend in Japan, you're spending $50 roughly. right? Some banks are easier than others. Sometimes it might be a 3% exchange. Sometimes it might whatever. And then currency rates go up and down. You see the chart right there? Things fluctuate. So when you really do the math at the end of the month, instead of it being 5%, it could be actually 7% that it worked out to in real terms. Or it might be 4.3% that it worked out to in real terms. But the point is, you're going to spend more than meets the eye. If the bill says 11,376 Japanese yen, you better believe that you're going to be seeing an additional charge on that on your bank statement if you use your debit card that's associated with your bank. But getting back to crypto cards, if dinner costs you that in Japan, that's what you pay. And if you log on to your exchange and go to the card and you look at the transactions, you won't see that you spent $100 a week ago, and then all of a sudden this mystery transaction for an additional $5 appears out of nowhere. That doesn't happen with these crypto cards, right? So that's 4 big reasons why I think crypto debit cards are the way to go. Not financial advice. I just think it's something you might want to look into. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope you enjoyed this content. I'll catch you on the next video. This is Ken from Fintech Wave. Thanks for checking out this latest episode. If you like the content, please hit like and subscribe. Shout out to all the people who've subscribed already. I'm going to try to keep the quality content coming on Fintech. I appreciate you. And there's a link in the description. The Fintech Wave theme is now an NFT. See you next time, everybody. Take care.